Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it. All of them?
Yeah.
Forever?
Just make small batches.
Well, today we're going to talk about how you can use your blog content for social media.
Because
you don't want to be spending your time and effort creating content for your blog and then spending different time and more effort creating content for social media, for Facebook, and then for Instagram and all these other things. That's the number one reason of why you would do that, the time. There's also just like, blogs, a lot of times people are going to read, and not everybody likes to read.
No.
I would think a lot of people nowadays don't prefer reading if they can watch or listen or do something. Skim or have AI give you the details.
Oh, gosh.
And then there's also just the audience size. Like the audience on social media is insane compared to people reading blogs.
Because I'm off it now.
That's the audience size.
That's
true. There's one fewer Merediths out there reading your content. But how do you do that? I don't want to get too into the details of how you do this technically, because the tools for this sort of stuff are changing rapidly. They change all the time.
Really?
Like so fast.
Like,
and,
what do you mean?
And it will be, well, I'll tell you more about it in a second. And they will change. Yeah. And they will change even more quickly as AI is used to create more of these tools. Yeah. I'll tell you what I use. In fact, I'll tell you my workflow. I'll tell you the tools I use.
Okay.
And then take those ideas. You ask me questions. As this sparks questions for you, I'm assuming it's going to spark questions for other people.
Okay.
So you can just tell me what's on your mind.
Right now?
No. So I create a couple different types of content, this podcast being one of them. So that's the one I'm gonna focus. I do some courses and some other stuff, and there's a different workflow for those. But in general, you kind of want to create your content once and then chop it up and distribute it to different places. You don't want to, like I said, you don't want to create that content multiple times. You want to create it once. You don't want to
recreate the content, the same content, and just put it in many places. Now, is that because Google would get bored? Google will see, you're just you're not repurposing. You're just copying the same content in different places, and it's less valuable?
No.
Is it because... Yeah.
So when you create your content, you want it to live on your blog for the sake of Google. You want Google to see it there. And then you're going to take little pieces of it and use the social media channels to distribute it, literally.
Kind of as breadcrumbs leading to your blog and website?
Kind of, yes.
Hey, who's hungry?
Plus, the other reason why you want to do this is, so Google has their algorithm, right? And they determine the rankings. Facebook has their algorithm. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, they all have their algorithms. It's well known, and it has happened many times where you might have a Facebook page that is getting thousands of views per day, and then all of a sudden one day you're not getting any because Facebook changed who they wanted to give preference to, or you're not advertising with them. That stuff all happens behind closed doors, and it's really just up to the Facebook team. And really? I can't even tell you how many times I've seen people telling stories of how their channel was demonetized on YouTube, or how Facebook changed their algorithm and their business literally halved overnight.
Or just shut their thing down.
Yeah.
Their
plenty.
Account down.
Plenty of people have had their Facebook account suspended, and they can't even figure out why. They can't get it reactivated. Yep. So if this stuff all sits on your blog, it's yours. You own it. You always got your blog. Yeah.
Good point.
So it's the saying, don't build your house on rented land. Right?
Yes.
Oh, Meredith wants to yawn so badly.
I know. It's very, I'm just tearing because I don't want you to see that I'm yawning, but it's just because I'm not breathing. I yawn when I don't breathe.
Yeah, I know. That's why people yawn. Yeah. It's a funny story. When I was in college and I played baseball, and I was a pitcher, so I was going to have a start. I would be so nervous. Wait, you were
going to have a start? What does that mean?
Yeah, I would be the starting pitcher.
Oh. There you go.
That would be my start.
Okay.
Before the game, I guess I wasn't breathing because I would just yawn nonstop.
Yeah.
Like
when I used to do voiceovers, I would have to yawn before every audition. Every time I'd have to yawn before I went on stage when I was
crazy. It's like when you're super nervous, I guess you don't breathe. That's the exact probably wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So
anyway, back to my content. I'm going to let Meredith yawn while I...
Don't tell everybody, because then everyone's going to yawn.
Okay, so my workflow for this podcast. So I do this podcast. I edit it. I record it with something called Riverside. It's like Zoom, but it's a little more geared towards podcast. I take it and I edit that file in something called Camtasia. It's just a video. Camtasia, like camera.
Okay.
Camtasia. I edit it. It's like a video screen share. You can create like video courses and stuff, but I use it for this too. And then I upload it straight to YouTube. I don't publish it on YouTube. It's just on YouTube. By the way, YouTube, it seems to me, is a great place to store videos. One thing I've learned since I've started creating videos is video files are big. And it takes a lot of work to find space and maintain them. YouTube is essentially unlimited free video storage.
As of this recording.
Yes. Hint, hint.
Newsflash tomorrow. You're limited to.
Yes.
Thank you, Meredith's husband.
Meredith's husband sued by YouTube. Anyway.
This will be our last episode.
I upload that straight to YouTube, and the little chapter markers that I put in that video while I was editing the video in Camtasia become timestamps in YouTube just automatically.
Wait, what? Say that again?
So I edit the file, the video file and the audio in Camtasia. And while I'm doing that, I say, oh, here's where we talk about XYZ. It's at 1 minute and 43 seconds.
This is where Meredith is hilarious.
Yeah. Then I upload that to YouTube. Number one, because it is kind of free storage, but also because it automatically generates those timestamps.
It does?
Yes. They become chapters in the video. It's pretty cool. Like when you're watching a YouTube video and you see there are chapters there, and it's just something like this. It's usually done in the editing process. Okay, but that's the only reason I upload that to YouTube. But from there, I need to actually create the podcast version. The podcast is hosted with Buzzsprout.
That's a cute name.
There's many podcasting services. That's the one I use. I like it. I recommend it if you're thinking about doing a podcast. So I upload the audio to Buzzsprout.
Who isn't thinking of doing a podcast?
Yeah, I don't know.
You upload it to Buzzsprout.
I upload the audio to Buzzsprout, and then I just copy and paste those timestamps from the YouTube description over to Buzz. From the YouTube description. No, I said that correctly.
I know.
I copy and paste that over to Buzzsprout. Okay, so when somebody is looking at the show notes in Apple Podcast, in the Apple Podcast app, the timestamps are there, what we talk about, and you can click and go to each one of those. Now, I think the very cool part about this is I use another tool called Repurpose.io. And it helps you do exactly.
Your toolbox must be huge.
Well, you need a few tools to string these things together. I'll talk about see what I mean about them. And I looked at all these tools probably a year ago, and thought, oh, there's nothing. I didn't really like any of them. I looked, 8 months later, and there's a whole bunch of them. So they're changing all the time. So I like Repurpose because it does exactly what I kind of want to have done. There's a bunch of tools like this, but what it does is it takes in my case, it takes the podcast episode and it converts it into a whole bunch of audio clips and it can post them straight to Instagram. It can post video clips to YouTube. It can post it to your blog. It does all these different things, and it makes those timestamps. It makes the snippets from the timestamps I did while I was editing it. Wow. So see how the entire process is fairly automated. From there, I don't use Instagram much. Now that I'm explaining how you repurpose your content for social media, I don't use social media much.
Yeah.
But I am planning to. I just haven't started because now I have probably 500 audio clips.
Good God.
But that can also be done like automatically. So the only thing I do in creating my, future Instagram posts is I put a little timestamp in the video while I'm editing it. And it creates and automatically it will get a 60-second clip will be put on Instagram, or a 30-second clip, or whatever I choose. That's
crazy. I feel like I live in a farm because I'm not analog. I am analog.
Yeah.
This is just all of a sudden,
Well, yeah. The thing is, like, what I expect is going to happen in the next several months or a couple of years probably is the one thing about doing this is you notice I mentioned a bunch of tools, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of them, and they're kind of all strung together.
Yeah. It's just going to be one tool.
I expect that these tools are going to either be consolidated or that new tools are going to be more comprehensive, and that AI is going to become involved.
Make their own podcasts.
Pretty much.
I know.
And then
you can use our voices.
You won't need so many tools. You'll just need one. You say, "Hey, I want this." House. Yeah, because I'm not waiting for, but I'm expecting. The talking. I'm expecting. Oh, I'm not really anticipating. I'm just expecting it. When you watch YouTube videos and there's like somebody talking to camera, it's a talking head video essentially.
Yes.
I don't think the tools are out there now, but I don't think it's going to be long before a single tool will, you give it a topic, it will do the research, write a script, create the text, create a voiceover, and also create a video of a talking head person. And you'll be able to create it once and be like, no, I want the speaker to be male instead of female, or less aggressive in their tone versus more aggressive, or speak slower, or speak with a Southern accent, or do all this stuff. And it will all be fake. None of it will be real. Boy.
So much to look forward to.
Yeah. But that's not there yet. At least the video.
I think we're okay with that.
Yeah.
I think we're okay with that right now. It's kind of humanity and real people are actually interesting enough on their own.
You would hope.
Yeah.
You would hope. I did see an article just yesterday about some Instagram influencer. She had, millions of followers and endorsements and everything. And it's really impressive, especially because she wasn't real.
Good gosh.
Not a real person.
Yeah, there are a bunch of those. A bunch.
So it's only a matter of time before there's...
So crazy.
Before there's video doing that, which is really kind of scary. But anyway, that's not the point of this podcast.
That's not the point. We'll probably cut all that out because it's really depressing.
The point is that it's becoming increasingly easier to take your content and find tools that'll help you cover all your bases in terms of the social media channels you want to be on, and whether you want to go from a podcast to a video, or a video to a podcast, or a blog to a podcast, or those tools
to a frog.
That one's easier. You just sit and wait.
Do we know how many millions of years it took the tadpole to get to the frog?
Well, the first one took a while. Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
No. To me, it just seems like so much work, so many steps for my brain.
Yeah,
but I'm also somebody who opens a can and just eats out of it rather than makes a meal out of a whole bunch of different ingredients.
Yeah, but these tools, you can automate that process. So you have to set the tools up.
Right,
but then,
it's setting the tools up that is just so daunting to me.
Yeah,
I recognize that it makes everything easier and in the end saves me time.
Right.
But it's the setting up that to me is just a mountain so high.
Granted, there is a learning curve.
There's a learning curve.
God, that was fun. There is a learning curve involved in figuring this stuff out. Yeah, that was tricky. I think that learning curve is being shortened because, like I said, the first time I looked into these tools, there weren't that many.
Are they user-friendly?
Some of them are extremely user-friendly and others are not so user-friendly. But you might find, like in my case, I use Repurpose.io, which I don't think is one of the more user-friendly ones, but it does exactly what I want. Like the others don't do exactly what I want. So it comes down to, you just sign up for a free trial, test it out. If you like it, if it does what you want, use it. If it doesn't, try another one. They're not so un-user-friendly that it takes time to learn them.
Right.
It's just some are like more bubbly and like flashy. Those are the ones that typically are the most popular. But in my case, they didn't do the things I wanted to do. So
then fuck it. I think it's just because I'm not being on the Instagram and I'm not blogging and I'm not finishing my new website and I'm not moving over to Dubsado. Like, I just feel stuck that there's so many things I need to do for the public, and I just don't want to do it.
You know what?
I just want somebody else to do it for me.
You know what we'll do next episode? What? We'll do how to get over the stuck feeling. How to get around around feeling stuck. Because I can't do it. It's overwhelming. Can you have somebody do it for me? Just somebody do it for me. Are you coming home? Hey. Thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, yes, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.